What's up, guys? So today I wanted to talk a little bit about my Valentine's Day children's mini sessions, and basically like my camera settings, my lighting, and how I set everything up. I'm also going to show you some behind the scenes of what it looked like there, not just the pictures. But first, so I'm still sick, but first I wanted to talk about planning my theme. So I wanted something a little more dramatic, but also whimsical. So my style has evolved to be a little bit more dramatic than it used to be. So it's not really that light and airy, but it's not really like dark and moody either, which is, you know, both of those are very popular right now. I just have a kind of a classic feel and look to my images, just very timeless. I don't like to use a lot of filters or editing. These particular images, I didn't use any presets or anything. You know, I try to get everything perfect in camera, and I think that's very important when you're doing mini sessions, especially. You've got 15 minutes or 20 minutes with the people, and you're gonna give them however many images you're gonna give them. And for mine, I'm gonna be giving 5. But basically, if you've got 20 or 30 mini sessions in a day or a weekend, then you're gonna have to edit those, and you're gonna have to do it pretty fast. So if you get everything right and nail it in camera, then editing is gonna be a breeze. You basically just have to crop, add a little contrast, make sure and fix the white balance, and upload them to their galleries, and bam, you're done. So basically, I wanted to talk a little bit about the setup. I wanted to make sure that the clouds were in different planes. So I have 2 clouds on one plane, and then I have another cloud further back. And the reason I wanted to do that was obviously to create a little bit of depth. And then also with the amount of space I left, which was not a whole lot, maybe a foot in front of the actual gray backdrop. So basically, if I didn't want shadows, there's a couple things I could have done to curb that. But I wanted shadows. I wanted the items, and I wanted the subject to be a little closer to the backdrop than what I normally do. I also wanted to have more of an edge to my light, so I didn't really use much modifier. I basically just used the bare Godox. Now, the SL100, also have the SL60s, but the reason I use continuous lighting is because if I want to do video as an add-on to sell to the person later, so I might record the session and then put music to it or whatever, this person may want to buy it later. So they may not want video up front, but it's not going to do me any harm to set a tripod out and then record it. Now, for this behind the scenes, obviously I wasn't recording this for them, and I wanted to get the whole scene, so you guys actually will be able to see what's going on. So it's not some artsy, pretty, zoomed in, you know, focusing on the child, slow-mo video. So one light, I had about 70 to 80% power on one side, coming in at almost a 45-degree angle. And then the other light I had coming in at about a quarter to maybe a third less power than this one, because I did want to have some shadow, like I said. I didn't mind the cross shadow with the clouds behind, because like I said, I wanted to create depth, but I did want to have more of a main light so that I could have some depth on my actual subject. When it comes to children, you can actually have a pretty harsh light because they have beautiful skin. You don't have to worry about zits or anything like that. Well, newborns you do, but toddlers, you don't have to worry about pores, nothing. So you can have a really harsh light and get away with all kinds of stuff with kids. Since I also wanted my look to be more dramatic, having that harsher edge really helps out. So now we'll get into camera settings. Since I use continuous lights, I can actually go down to like 1.4, 2.8 and shoot wider than if I didn't. And I really, really love being able to do that. For these particular shots, I kind of varied between 2.8 and f4. Now, I was also using a lens that I rarely use, which is my 70-200, no, my 24-70. I usually use that lens for filming. I barely ever use it for shooting just because it has an aperture of 2.8. But since I knew I wanted to get the clouds a little more in focus than I normally do on the background, I didn't mind using it. Plus, some children like to run around a lot. Having that zoom and being able to get closer to the child, this particular child wanted to keep running to me when I was shooting my promo, and to her mother. And so using this lens, I was able to zoom in and out. Whereas if I'm using another lens, I usually use a prime lens, I have to go back and forth. Also, being pregnant, is very hard to be down on the floor, eye level with the child to take the picture. So I actually felt like I did like 200 squats during this session. Moving back and forth is very difficult when you're this far along pregnant, and so I was like, yeah, I'm not dealing with that. So I had an ISO of 800 and I had a shutter speed of 200ths of a second. Now, the shutter speed did not have to be that fast, but when I'm working with children, I want to make sure it's good enough to where I'm not getting the child like blurry as they're like running by and stuff. And of course, to accommodate for camera shake, you want to inverse what your focal length is. I was using the Nikon Z6 and Z7 for the photos and video. And I really love those cameras. The Z6 I love even more than the Z7, which that's a whole different video, but I just wanted to tell you the equipment that I was using. So the backdrop is a Thunder Gray Savage backdrop, which I ordered off Amazon, and I'll put the link below. So basically, I just wanted something dramatic, but also kind of dreamy and kind of whimsical. I think I could turn this into something really surreal and get inspired by Dali, he was one of my favorite painters, and do something with adults with this. I think it'd be a lot of fun. So I also wanted to tell you guys about an online class that I'm going to be making. Well, it's actually going to be like a course because it's going to have like a different modules in it, probably about 6 or so. It's going to have downloads. It's going to be about making mini sessions and how to plan out your mini session calendar for the year. There's so much that's going into it. It probably won't be done until the fall. I'm going to try and get it done while I am out with the baby. So June and July, I will have time, maybe. We'll see if I have time to work on it. But I think that'd be a great project for me to work on while I'm home with my baby. So we'll see if I can get it out by the end of the summer, but if not, probably fall. It's just gonna have so much information about planning a successful mini session year and something that you can actually financially have a really big takeaway from. So be on the lookout for that. And of course, I will post a link down in the description once it's done. So if you're watching this, say 2021, then maybe you'll see it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you found this video helpful, then please subscribe and let me know what you guys thought of the video and what you guys thought of my theme. Be sure to tag me at Jennifer Robot on anything that I may have helped you with or inspired you with, because I really love to see those types of things on Instagram. And I'll see you guys next time.